So I'm joined today by Christina Foss and Peter Dolese with the Arts Council. Guys, thanks so much for coming to our studio this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And I'm guessing that things are picking up for you guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Busy time of year, but a fun time of year. It's the 49th Annual Festival of the Arts. It's April 21st through the 26th. But before we get into those details, let's back up. And Christina, I'll start with you. Tell me more about the Arts Council.
Sure. So Arts Council Oklahoma City, we are a nonprofit and we put on free or low-cost cultural and arts events and programs all across downtown Oklahoma City and some of the metro Oklahoma City. We put on events like Sunday Twilight concerts, Festival of the Arts, opening night, storytelling festival, all access arts, our arts education program, and a few other things. Our main goal, our mission, is to bring the arts and community together, and so we try to do that through all of these events and making them accessible to people.
And part of that's the education. You're Executive Director of Arts Council, Peter. Why is that education important?
Well, education is everything, especially in the minds of a young child. I mean, arts education is a way to open up the mind to a variety of different ways of looking at things. I mean, you just don't have to think about math. You don't have to think about reading. With art, you can think about the whole picture. And I don't know about you, but when I was a young child, I spent a lot of time looking at paintings I was always trying to tell what was the story inside of something. And art always has a way of opening up a person's mind to think about things.
Isn't that interesting because it could be different?
Absolutely.
My interpretation could be a lot different than yours.
The word pictures that you paint in your mind are going to be completely different. That's one reason why I think storytelling is such a wonderful art form. We do the Oklahoma City Storytelling Festival, and that's what you were talking about. If I describe a castle to you in words, then the castle that you have in your mind and the one that Chris has in hers, it's completely unique. It's your own castle. We all hear the same words, but we create our own word pictures, which is really different from when you are given all the information on a movie screen, including the sound and the music and telling you where to be scared, and it's completely different. So I think that arts education is what we are all about. And about keeping that integrated into the school curriculum and keeping that integrated into the experiences of a young child so that it's fun. When you go to school, it should be fun. And I think
you're going to learn a lot more if it is fun,
absolutely.
Right?
And if you want people to come back and have a great daily experience, they have to be able to feel like they're creating and having fun and that they own something there. And art really gives you, kids come home with that little drawing that they did and they show their parents.
They're excited.
It's tangible. It's a real thing. It's different than I learned the multiplication tables, which is great too.
You have to learn those.
But it doesn't have the same impact in a young child's mind, the same ownership that art allows them to experience.
Our All Access Arts program, which is our arts education program, and we bring visual, dance, and music arts education to underserved schools, Oklahoma City parks, libraries, and community agencies. We find it extremely important. We kind of trumpet, access to the arts for all is kind of the motto with that program. The numbers are in with arts education. It's clearly impactful. Low-income students who are highly engaged in the arts are actually 2 times more likely to graduate college than their peers without arts education. So, it helps students not just succeed in school, but succeed in life.
Have you guys seen, as you provided these place-making activities, whether it's the Twilight movie or opening night, it's family-friendly. Have you seen the result of if you provide a location and an event, people come to it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
The Twilight concert series is a perfect example of that. It comes on every Sunday night throughout the summer from 6:30 to 8, and we have a weekly attendance of over 1,000 people. And the crowd varies because the concerts are very, very different. We run the gamut. We'll have a salsa band out there one weekend, and the next weekend it'll be Americana music. And we'll have a rhythm and blues band, someone like Short Dog, who's Short Dog, by the way, it's a great rhythm and blues band. And the 2 people that run that group are also the 2 teachers who teach our arts education program
I didn't know that.
in school at Millwood.
Well, I saw them at your opening night. They were at the library that night.
They're amazing. And actually, they had a couple of the students from Millwood performing with them that night.
Well, they're so good every time you hear them.
Yeah, it's amazing. But that program, she was alluding to the various programs we have with All Access Arts program, we actually have a music library of instruments that we provide to Millwood High School. And the high school students are trained by real live working musicians, the folks from Short Dog, and they're not just trained how to play the musical instruments, but they're also trained with Pro Tools on how to do all of the engineering side of it. And they're pulling kids out of band and teaching them jazz riffs. And I went to see one of their concerts over there when they were doing the Homecoming Queen, and they had the jazz band from this after-school program there performing.
Pretty good?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was really, really great stuff.
You know, you're providing access and education, such as the Pro Tools. That's just stuff that they will retain.
Right. The idea
not
is
to
to
mention the
create
skill set that they
right.
develop.
It's a skill set. You're nailing it. We're trying to give them real world tools that'll help them with potentially making money when they get older and seeing a purpose for why they're there now.
Yeah, studies show employers are looking for those type of traits now when hiring a candidate. Arts education just, it benefits you throughout your whole life.
These two guys from the Arts Council, Director of Communications, Christina Foss, and the Executive Director, Peter Dolese. Let's look forward a couple weeks from now, the Festival of the Arts, the 49th Festival of the Arts, and it's the last time, or at least for a while, that it'll be at the Myriad Gardens. You want to set it up for us, Peter?
Well, it's a great location, for one, and one that we've really enjoyed being in for many years. When we moved over here back in 1985, there wasn't a tree in the Myriad Gardens. And it was an opportunity for us to once again be the pioneer. We were able to bring the Arts Festival to a new location, and the people joined us. It's been a wonderful place, and it's an excellent site to enjoy the arts. The park is absolutely beautiful. We have 3 stages. We have 144 artists on Hudson. They're all fine artists that go through a jury process. We have a sculpture park and a wonderful children's area, the children's art field. There's probably 5,000 kids that go through that every year. Creation Station. There's this one activity we have called the Young at Art Mart, and you're not allowed to, only people can go in there are kids up to the age of 12. So your parents can't go with you. And then the artists on the street will provide artwork for that area, and the kids can purchase artwork for like $2 or $3 that's done by some of the famous artists that are on the plaza. But the parents don't get to pick it out. The kids go in there and they pick it out themselves.
Kids can just be themselves.
Right.
They're free to,
They give them $5 and say, go in there and get what you want. And the kids go in and look around and find their own artwork. Once again, it's about enabling them, helping them, with self-esteem issues, even as low as 5 years old. They come out of there just, oh, look what I found.
Look what I did, yeah.
It's really wonderful. So we're always trying to, and the pottery place. Chris and I were talking about that as we came over earlier. It's another one of those areas that generational, people come back every year and they make another pot. And they're bisque-fired pots that you glaze, and then they do the raku firing on site. So you put the glaze on, and then you leave it for an hour, and they raku fire it, and you come back. Kids see the glaze they put on is blue, but when it comes out, it's green.
Just blows their minds.
Yeah, and they're like, wow, And they've got some families have pots from every year for years, that they've been doing
They
that.
come back year after year. It's not only a fun experience, but a tradition for a lot of people here. It's kind of the Rite of Spring.
Well, speaking of the Rite of Spring, let's talk food, the culinary arts. What can we expect this year?
Oh, many of your favorites are returning, of course. We've got some new vendors as well. And besides our International Food Row area, which is where all the main tents are, kind of on that concrete area, we also have a culinary arts demonstration tent sponsored by Brewer Entertainment. And we have all sorts of local chefs and restaurants come in, and they do a demonstration on a particular dish or food item, and there are usually samples at the end that you get to try. So it's a lot of fun.
Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty good.
So you get to experience the art of cooking as well. So we like to say not only do we have visual and performing artists, but culinary arts is also an art form.
Creative people are just amazing to me. For example, Alton Brown was in town last night over at the Civic Center, and my Twitter feed starts blowing up that he's created a pizza topping based off of a Tucker's onion burger.
I saw that.
I would never think of that, but the creative people in this town are across the board, whether it's culinary arts or fine arts or whatever. And you guys are providing this platform that they can tap into, and other people can perhaps create new experiences or share those experiences with, right?
Absolutely. Once again, it's about bringing the arts and the community together. And for us, every time we do that, it's a celebration. I mean, the Arts Festival is such a wonderful opportunity for people to, it's been a long, hard winter, it's been cold, then they finally come out of their shells, so to speak, and the trees are all budding and everybody goes out, and 5,000 volunteers work that event. So there's lots of relationships that are built just through the community of putting the event on.
Are you guys still looking for volunteers?
We're always looking for volunteers. And you can do that on our website. If you want to apply to become a volunteer, you should just go to our website at artscouncilokc.com. And
let's look ahead to next year. We mentioned this is the 49th Annual Festival of the Arts, April 21st through 26th, but next year, you guys are moving to Bicentennial Park, where opening night was held this year.
That's the plan. Now, of course, there's a lot of things that are sort of weigh that. Okay. The property that we're currently on is in process of being purchased.
Okay.
And we don't know just exactly where that is at this point, but all indicators are saying that at our 50th anniversary we'll be at Bicentennial Park. And trying to figure out how to make all that happen is what we're working on right now. There's an infrastructure of electrical and plumbing and all those sorts of issues that we've built over 30 years in the location we are now in, but then to move it, we have to be able to have that seamlessly just move to the new spot. So we're working with companies like OG&E and with various contractors, plumbers and electricians and to try to take our footprint and morph it into that park. It's a fantastic location.
Sure.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful area, bookended by City Hall on one end and the Civic Center on the other, two of the most prominent, exceptional pieces of architecture in Oklahoma City. So we feel like it's a great opportunity for the Arts Festival. We started there, back in 1967. And we're there through 1984, and then we moved to our current location. So we're kind of looking at it like coming home, coming back for our 50th anniversary.
Very nice. You're in a fantastic location this year. They'll be at the Myriad Gardens. Peter Dolese, Christina Foss, thanks so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.